Why could you want to drink less and want to drink more? Let me ask you this. What do you do with the feelings of relationship with alcohol, wanting to let it go, but also finding yourself holding on to it? Well, alcohol is tied to memories. It's tied to rituals and tied to feelings of belonging. So a lot of times we're like, well, who would I be without alcohol? Could I connect well with my husband? I'm here to say, yes, you can. Sober-minded connection creates real intimacy, and it starts with emotions before it goes anywhere else. So the goal is not to lose yourself in the feelings or the emotions or even the desires to drink less or not at all. It's to be able to acknowledge part of you is tied in with alcohol, and alcohol has become a part of you. It's tied into memories, rituals, and even sometimes a sense of belonging, especially if you've been drinking like I did for years with kind of your spouse or your significant other as a drinking buddy. Anybody out there have a spouse who was or is your drinking buddy? Like it was kind of, for my husband, Craig, and I, it was actually one of our primary activities to do together. Can you really do alcohol together? Yeah, you can have drinks together, but you're actually just getting further and further apart because you're losing your sober mind. And when we lose our sober mind, we lose our presence. When you lose presence, you end up losing connection, first with yourself and then other people. That is what I have experienced in my own life. Here's the deal. Alcohol was a shortcut. It was a shortcut to relief, even when the cost was high. So there's a price to be paid, right? For that short-term relief. And that's what it is. It's temporary relief. And again, I'm not here to judge anybody. I totally get it. Oh, do I get it? And sometimes I still battle with what to do for relief. And then I realize, ding, ding, Jen, that's a cue. That's a warning signal that I'm depleted in another area. Maybe I'm hungry. Maybe I'm angry. Maybe I'm anxious. Maybe I'm lonely. Maybe I'm tired. Maybe I'm all of the above. And drinking is just going to be a shortcut to relief. It's not really going to meet a need. So I think another part of this untangling our emotions and untangling our needs is to practice the HALT method. And again, I will talk more about this on an upcoming video, but just being able to go, okay, what do I need? I used to look at alcohol like it was just like a hammer that I would use on everything. What if you need a screwdriver? Again, I'm not a tool person, so maybe that's not a good example. I don't know the name of a lot of tools, but like screwdriver, wrench, I don't really know what that is, hammer, but I would just use alcohol as my tool for everything. It's like bored, hammer, bored, or lonely, put a hammer to it. And that was alcohol for me. So again, a lot of this identifying is naming, categorizing, not judging, but observing. That goes so much further, ladies, to be an observer than a judge. Listen, I am an Enneagram 1. I have an inner critic that is going all the time. You're not doing it right. You could do it better, all the things. I've learned to acknowledge that voice in my head, that emotion, and just go, okay, thank you. Thank you. We got this. I'm choosing a different part of me that's confident and secure and has my identity in Christ, not in the opinion of others, including myself. Yay. I'm not that powerful. I have my identity rooted and grounded in who God says I am. I mean, here's my Bible right here. I thank God for it every day because this is what's true and right. And this is what I want to focus on. But my emotions can be data. They can be helpful information, but they're not meant to drive the ship. They're there to signal, what do you need? And give you more clues, context clues, as my kids would say, right? Anyway, so why we miss it? Well, it's because it's tied to things, but it can also be a shortcut. And missing it doesn't mean you should go back. It just means there's grief and letting go. Okay, we've talked about this a lot here in our Sober Sis tribe, that our relationship with alcohol is like a real relationship. And so when we're letting something go that we know is not serving us, it could still bring up some feelings of grief and loss. You're normal. Let me normalize that. It's just like an abusive or toxic boyfriend. You saw something in them. There was some reason why you stayed. And it's the grieving, the good part, the part you saw, the potential, the how it made you feel in the moment, the times that abusive relationship came back to you and said, I'm going to do it different this time. You can trust me now. I won't do that again. And then they do every time. It's very similar. I would view my relationship with alcohol as like an abusive or toxic. Again, I know some of you have come from domestic violence and serious abusive relationships. And my question is, was alcohol even involved? More than likely it was, either for you to numb the hurt and the sadness, and it probably fueled a lot of anger in your home as well. So I think a big part of this is recognizing alcohol has been a tool. It's been effective in the short term to just blunt force, just stop emotion or be a shortcut. But in the long run, it's stealing, it's taking away from us, and it's actually masking a lot of our emotions. Now that I'm sober-minded and not taking shortcuts away from my emotions, oh my gosh, but I'm not as frantic emotionally. I'm not as tingled. I'm not as, what's the word I'm looking for? Confused. Because when I was drinking, not only did I have the drinking that I was feeling concerned about, I also had the increased anxiety that alcohol was actually, it's like alcohol was literally like pouring gasoline on a fire. And it can mask the real emotions that you do need to untangle to get to the best version of yourself. So it's about facing the feelings with compassion. You can feel sad and still stay aligned. So I want y'all to, and we did this in the reset. So if you've done a 21-day reset challenge, this is going to sound familiar. If you've not done a 21-day reset challenge, this may be new to you. But I want you to put in the chat, what did alcohol promise you? Why did you drink? What did alcohol promise you? I think this is going to be very interesting to see. What did alcohol promise you? What did alcohol tell you? Again, even if it was lying to you, what did you believe that it was telling you that it would give you? Fun, relaxing, I talked more, to be outgoing, relaxation, laughs, sophistication and fitting in, joy to replace the sadness, shut my brain off, that you were more fun and would have less anxiety. Again, these are promises. Here's the question I have for you. What did you actually get? What did alcohol actually give you? What did it actually give you? And it's okay to say it gave you temporary relief, but after that wore off, what did you really get? You did get relaxation, because alcohol is a drug and alcohol anesthetizes everything. Brene Brown says it best, we can't selectively numb. So if you're sad and you want to feel joy, well, it's going to numb both. It's really hard to feel much at all when everything is numbed. So I hear you though. Alcohol lies to us and it says, you can't handle your emotions. Alcohol says we're not strong enough. We need alcohol to soothe ourselves. And again, it anesthetizes the pain in the short term. So we get the feedback that like it works. Like, look, I'm less stressed. I'm not as sad anymore. But yes, you are. It's just masked. It's just covered up. And that's why it's so tough sometimes to let go of. So I think this is where the reset and the things that we're doing here in Sober Sis really shine, really come through as practical tools, because it helps us untangle our emotions and rebuild trust again. Trust with ourselves, trust with other people. And it's not about labeling yourself. It's about getting honest and naming it. I think what we've reminded ourselves of today is that emotions aren't good or bad, right or wrong. They're data. They're data or data, tomato, tomato, however you want to say it. But they're signals, they're cues. They tell us when a boundary's been crossed or something isn't right, or that we have a need that is important that needs to be identified. Is valuable feedback. And when we numb our emotions, we numb them all. We can't selectively numb. So instead of trying to numb or shortcut our emotions, the better thing to do, which I'm working on over here as well, is to name them and even identify parts of ourselves that may seem in conflict. They're not in conflict. They're just different parts. And you can be both, angry and still stay aligned. We don't have to eject. You can be sad and stay aligned to who you want to be. You can feel the feels without ejecting out of your own life and hitting the escape hatch, which again escapes it all and it escapes a lot of that resilience that you're capable of experiencing. Listen, one more thing. You don't have to drink through this. Ladies, stay connected. Whatever you do this weekend, whether you're in the free community or you're in one of the reset networks, see out there, whatever it is, stay connected. Do not untether from the connection that you have here, because as one of my coaches, Gina T, says, community is immunity. So if you want to stay immune from hitting that eject button, just stay connected. Let's do this together. Y'all stay safe and stay sober-minded, whatever you do. Bye, everybody.